When it comes to President Trump's plan to end conflicts around the world, one name comes up again and again.
I spoke to Steve Witkoff.
Talks that went very, very well. Steve was there. Steve Witkoff, who has done a fantastic job.
America's special envoy is many things.
It's really quite simple, actually. I would say they're best friends.
Steve is a master negotiator.
But is he qualified? So it's time to ask, who is Steve Witkoff? Witkoff's most important quality might be his proximity to the president. Isaac Stanley Becker profiled him for The Atlantic.
President Trump has many friends, many acquaintances, but that he is really the first among equals.
Their story starts in the 1990s. As Witkoff told Tucker Carlson, for him, Trump was like Michael Jordan.
He'd come to 101 Park Avenue where I was a lawyer. He had this swashbuckling style. I used to see him come in and I used to say, God, I want to be him.
I've known Steve probably over 30 years at this point.
Bob Knackel is a real estate broker in New York. He says as Witkoff's real estate empire grew, so did his friendship with Trump. Like Trump, Witkoff began to develop properties in New York and Florida, where the fellow billionaires would play golf.
You're spending 4 or 5 hours with them in an environment where it's just you and a few other folks. You get to see the side of people that you rarely get to see.
And in 2021, in the aftermath of the Capitol Hill riot, when Trump retreated to Florida.
It was Steve Witkoff who was really there by his side at Mar-a-Lago or at Bedminster on the links, spending time with him and really helping to shepherd him through that period.
And it was back on the links as Trump's return to the White House looked like it could happen, that Trump made his friend an offer.
Did he want to be an ambassador? No, he expressed an interest in something a little bit more informal, and Senator Graham said that he told him about this role of special envoys, and then candidate Trump essentially said, sure, Steve, whatever you'd like to do.
But as a real estate developer, what does Witkoff bring to the world of statecraft? Is it, as Trump would say, all about the art of the deal?
Real estate is not the real estate business. It's the information and people business. It comes down to the way you get along with people and knowing where the leverage points might be in negotiating.
One of Witkoff's first successes was in May this year when he secured the release of an American hostage from Hamas. He's visited the region many times. As a father who lost his own son to a drug overdose, Witkoff says he empathizes with the hostage families.
I think my son allows me to have this sense of, I relate to a lot of the hostage families.
But critics have questioned if that empathy extends to Gaza, as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu moves forward on the plan to occupy Gaza City.
We've not seen either Trump or Witkoff make the kind of public break with the Prime Minister's office that European countries and other governments have gotten closer to doing.
Critics have also questioned Witkoff's judgment and bias when it comes to ending the war in Ukraine.
His interactions with President Putin have been the source of a lot of controversy. I think most notably when he returned from one of those visits and did an interview with Tucker Carlson,
where he talked about President Putin.
I liked him. Yep. I thought he was straight up with me.
And parts of Ukraine Russia has occupied.
They're Russian-speaking. Yep. There have been referendums where the overwhelming majority of the people have indicated that they want to be under Russian rule.
But Ukraine describes the referenda as shams and a violation of international law. How have you felt watching Witkoff being almost the de facto Secretary of State?
Terrible. First of all, he's not coordinated with the State Department.
Anders Ostlund is an author and economist.
He appears in the meetings, 5 meetings with Putin, as far as I can understand, without his own interpreter and without any assistant. And he seems to misunderstand pretty much everything.
Ostlund says it was Witkoff that gave Trump the impression that Ukraine and Russia would both give up territory.
There'll be some land swapping going on. I know that through Russia and through conversations with everybody.
Now a German newspaper says Witkoff got it wrong.
Witkoff thought that Putin offered to withdraw the Russian troops from 2 regions of Ukraine. Well, instead he demanded that the Ukrainians withdrew from those 2 regions. So it was a complete misunderstanding, and there was nobody there to correct it.
So who is Steve Witkoff? Someone who shares quite a lot in common with Trump. Outsiders from Queens and Bronx who made their fortunes first in New York. Now the billionaire buddies are also business partners, with both families profiting from the Trump cryptocurrency business, World Liberty Financial. Andrea Stricker is a policy analyst who's critiqued Witkoff's negotiations with both Iran and Russia.
I don't think we can hit him too hard because he is doing a really difficult job as a real estate person. But there is quite a bit at stake.
You're being generous, but it's also the situation that we are having to talk about how good a job a real estate person is doing negotiating peace terms with Moscow.
This is what presidents can do. They can appoint whoever they would like, a trusted advisor with any background, but it doesn't necessarily result in success, as we've seen.
So for all of Witkoff's pluses and minuses, if he's anything, he's the man Trump trusts.